Hey everybody, Rex Bear League Project. How the heck are you? I'm out here just south of the Archuleta Mesa, and it was quite interesting. Just met some people that own the ranch below us here, and very nice people. They are, I think, capturing some poachers. They're waiting for them to finish business. But anyway, so that's not what this podcast is about. I just wanted to share with you the majestic area and give you an idea on how beautiful it actually is out here. And just a couple of miles that way is the Archuleta Mesa. We're going to see if we can find a closer proximity to it soon. Actually, I think we're probably going to be closer at your place.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll actually might even be able to just get right on top of it.
Yeah. So really excited. And hey, who's that? That's Diamond. Diamond from Oppenheimer Ranch. He is just like totally educating me here, talking about all sorts of incredible electric universe hypothesis information, fascinating, how to grow crops the right way, the rise and fall of dynasties, information that's actually important, especially when it comes to maintaining some stability in civilizations. And when there are food crop shortages, no rain, droughts, extreme weather, that's connected to what? Swamp gas from Uranus and the grand solar minimum. Beautiful. It looks like the trees look good. I'm not seeing a lot of beetle kill, which is nice. I did see some trees on the other side that looked like they were getting torched up a little bit, but that could be from anything, whether or not it's UVC radiation, I don't know. But let's just walk over here a little bit further. You can see the edge. We're right on the edge. You guys know how I like to live on the edge. Well, this isn't too bad. It's actually plenty of room. We're looking for some stuff that is ancient, and I was talking to Diamond about this, about these builders, and I'm hoping he can give us some information in a second. The Easter Island statues, these megalithic structures that were possibly built by giants that they communicated telepathically, etc. There are remnants around the world for these builders, right?
Absolutely.
Can you share a little bit of that with us? See, he's on the edge. You guys say I get on the edge. Diamond's right there. Let's see if we can get closer.
Yeah, there's even footprints below. Might be megalithic.
Oh yeah, could be giant ones. Hello. So let's here. Okay.
You make it.
Ah! All right. Just joking. Look at that. Wait, just look at it. Wait, just look at it. That's it. This is. Oh, wow. There's probably stuff over here, huh?
Yeah, there's footprints down there that people have been obviously searching for evidence there. But Anasazi always lived under the cliffs because it was safe.
Okay.
So
Here, can you stand right there so I can get some, or right here so I can get some footage? You in the backdrop? All right. Talk to us about what you were telling me on the way up here.
Well, what I've noticed, and I noticed over here at Square Top, which is the square mountain behind me.
Okay.
You can barely see it. Is when you're at Oppenheimer Ranch, you can see what appears to be a profile of a face, huge, 80 meters high, in the form of a moai. And several months after that, I went to Durango, and I was at the Home Depot, and I looked up, and I saw the same exact carving, the same scale, the same face. And I've now seen it in 4 other places in this region. And I think it has to do with a very ancient culture that lived here. Maybe it's the Clovis, Solutrean people that were carving these faces. But in just the 3 short years here, here's the problem. There is no real art or language from this ancient culture, so it's hard to find. The petroglyphs we see today are all recent, in the last 10,000 years. But these ancient cultures, if they did carve these faces or have these megalithic structures in this region, I think that the erosional events and the electrical events which created the Grand Canyon, Zion, and Bryce probably eroded them. And we just need to start looking with a different perspective. And that's what I'm doing out here, resetting the pituitary like you. And,
yeah, right. Pine cone.
And waiting for it to be revealed. Because more will be revealed. Just like Tesla got information from the universe.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking for the information to download itself. So just coming out to places like this, exposing ourselves to the way the ancients were and what they were experiencing, spiritually puts us in a place to understand what we might be looking for.
Now, also, we were talking about how these builders could have been from at least 40,000 years ago.
Yeah.
And they could have been giants, and they communicated telepathically, so they didn't need to write stuff down. And their building capabilities, they could probably be traveling the stars right now. Possibly. What are your thoughts on that? That's what we were kind of talking about before, right?
Well, the ancient alien hypothesis, I believe, is getting mixed up with some other ancient cultures, and they're.
I agree. I agree.
And so we're just unraveling what
Could
we
be
may
us.
know. Yeah. You know, the genetic modification idea is pretty clear that it's true. And let me get the dog out. Come
Sure.
on.
Who let the dogs out?
Let's go to the safe clip.
All right, so yeah, what he's doing real quick is he's going to go ahead and put that dog is a little bit more active than my dog. My dog Luna won't even get close to the edge. It's funny because the other day when I was walking around the edge, somebody said, "Rex, you're a bad pet owner. Your dog might run off the edge." My dog won't even get anywhere close to the edge. But yeah, Gremlin over there. Isn't that funny that Diamond's dog is named Gremlin? What a weird synchronicity, huh? How often do I bring up gremlins on the Leak Project? Well, now here's a live gremlin, and that thing would... Thank goodness Gremlin's nice. Just, I guess, don't get on its bad side. Okay, so, talk to us. Watch, I think one of your... No, your shoes. Oh, my goodness! Ladies and gentlemen! Oppenheimer, your shoes untied, man.
Sorry, they're vegan.
All right, check it out.
This is my ass.
Yeah, I panned to the hat when you did that. So I panned to the hat. So okay, what are you showing us, bro?
I'm pretty stoked to just simply come around the curve here a little later and go to Archuleta Mesa.
Yeah, the mesa's on the other side of that.
Yeah.
But no, tell us, you were talking to us about something, then you had to let your dog into safety or something. What were we talking about?
Yeah, I think that there are...
40,000-year-old builders, possibly.
Well, I think that every 26,000 years, or a great year,
okay,
there is a civilization, a Yuga cycle,
okay,
which brings people from a dark age to a golden age.
Okay.
The last golden age ended with the Clovis and Solutrean people during an ice age. So when the golden age ends during an ice age, it seems like the people that live on Earth are more hunter-gatherer types in smaller communities living in harmony with nature because they have smaller populations. And so we have these ancient cultures using flint knapping technologies. But it's my hypothesis that the great year prior to that, 26,000 years plus 11.5, so that would bring us 36,000 years ago to the end of the last great year, and that was the end of the megalithic builders. Those are people that made, you know, Machu Picchu, the Great Pyramids, and other megalithic structures, the Baalbek platforms, and those are entities that may have been involved with other races, and that information was handed down to a simpler Great Year race, the more recent one that was destroyed, that kept it alive in the pictures of the petroglyphs, etc.
Mm-hmm.
And so that there might be something to actual humans being aliens, meaning we got so enlightened at some point we were able to travel into other dimensions or maybe even off planet. And now we're staying away because we know better than to interact. And who knows how deep it goes. But if the universe is, in fact, infinite and has been here forever, to understand how ancient that is, it's impossible. So what we know is nothing, because if you go back prior to like 1800, 98% of all that information is false. So what do we know about what happened 36,000 years ago and prior? Nothing. Just the weathering on the Sphinx alone brings into question all of Egyptian antiquity alone. So what we know as the history of Earth is completely false, and we have to start over.
Well, you know, when we talk about these builders and what they have left behind, I saw some footage of these steps that looked like they were between 8 and 10 feet in height. And there were, you know, there were dozens of them, possibly hundreds. And you could see these people in comparison as they were, you know, just gawking at awe, going, wow, what is this? Why? And how? And these facilities that were built thousands of years ago, tens of thousands of years ago, just to get the mass, you know, mined to build them, the materials from around the world, we would have a tough time doing that today. And they're saying that it was done with slaves and wooden wheels.
If you use Occam's razor, wouldn't it make sense that if there was a 50-foot human, that the blocks they're cutting would be 10 times bigger than anything that our size humans would be cutting?
Exactly.
So a block in Baalbek to a 50-foot human would be the normal size block, because 10 of them could probably move it around when it would take 10,000 humans to push it an inch currently. So scale is something that we really know nothing about. Also cosmic catastrophe and cosmogenic environment. What is becoming very clear to many geologists is that dinosaurs could not live on Earth right now. They're too big. So something had to be different with gravity. Something had to be different with everything in order for dinosaurs to live on the surface. Their hearts are too far above the ground. They could never pump. They couldn't work unless something was different. In fact, gravity was, 3 times less. Then you can have dinosaurs.
So when you talk about the rise and fall of civilizations and dynasties, etc., and where we're at currently with this cycle of the sun, this grand solar minimum, and I talked to your good friend David recently. He's going to be on the show tomorrow, and yeah, okay, bro.
No, I need that.
And he was saying that these. Dang it, where was I going with this?
David Dubine.
Yes, he was saying there could be a 5-year drought in Australia. That's unprecedented. What happens if an entire continent goes in drought mode like that for 5 years, where it doesn't even rain, and if it does, just very little? Then he's talking about population losses because they're not going to be able to get food in some areas. That's going to be just mind blowing. And he says that could happen over the next 15 years. Are you kind of resonating with that as well? Are you saying that this whole world is going to be in dire straits, and you need to be in certain pockets and certain areas to survive this and be ready?
That's what the historical past showed us. I've been sharing the Dalton minimum timeline on our channel almost every night. You can look,
which is Oppenheimer Ranch, ladies and gentlemen, YouTube.
Yeah, you can go look at the 2 decades during the Dalton from like 1800 to 1820 and actually see how these unfolded across the globe. If you use the dossier that we share by James Marusek, a chronological sequence of events from 1780 to 1840. And you could see these massive droughts, massive floods in China in 1800, and things like that today. If technology is failing because of the grand solar minimum effects, which you can clearly see right out here, some of the cosmic ray effects, we have cloud nucleating through typical areas that it wouldn't.
It's bizarre.
Yeah, we have bizarre cloud formations.
And also I see a lot of like haze and stuff, and that might be from some of the forest fires, but it's not. You come out here 15 years ago, you didn't see haze like this with these mountains and the backdrop. It just wasn't like this. And now almost everywhere you go, if there's mountains, you're going to see this. Whether you're in Tennessee, whether you're in Utah, Colorado, whether you're in Arizona, Nevada, California, it's always like this. It's disgusting.
With the work of the Cloud Project and Spensmark, what we learned is that in the middle atmosphere here, just from 10,000 feet where we're standing and up, so this cloud right here is probably a cosmic ray nucleated cloud. You can see it's spreading apart and it's maintaining cloud for a long distance.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, people don't think that contrails can last for more than 10 feet, but in the cosmogenic environment that we're in now and that we're going into, you're going to fall off the edge.
Please continue. Please continue, man.
Yeah, so
you're closer than me, bro.
Yeah, well, I got the 5G on, so
yeah, you're good, bro. You got the 5G.
So in the cosmogenic environment we're in, what we would expect to see is more haze. So there's going to be nucleation from 10,000 to 22,000 feet, as predicted by the scientific models and proven. So what we're seeing is just a general haze of clouds in that middle atmosphere. And we're also seeing contrails on plains lasting for hundreds of miles, for hours. And you can even see it in some of the thin lenticular clouds in the distance there, where you actually have clouds being ripped apart by high atmospheric winds. And that cloud there is 110 miles long. It got spread, and because of the cosmogenic environment, it's not going away like a contrail. So that thin pencil cloud is because of the cosmogenic effects of cosmic rays.
Well, and I definitely agree with a lot of what you're saying, and I also know that there are some major, and there's multiple programs for spring. I think a lot of people might get the misinterpret what a contrail is, and maybe a lot of times there's contrails that are just contrails. They're not actually chemtrails.
Area,
but there's a lot of time. Just real quick though, I just wanted to say, because a lot of times when I'll see them do the X patterns, specific X patterns, those X patterns will dissipate, and then you'll have just one big blanket white cloud.
Yeah, so what's happening in this region, especially along the Continental Divide and all the ski areas, is is cloud seeding. We pay for it in Pagosa in our taxes.
Yeah.
Last year, $30,000 went to the cloud seeding project at Wolf Creek.
Okay.
So what we see is small planes that come up here from the west and approach the Continental Divide, and they'll start leaving chemtrails from about right here all the way to the divide.
Okay.
And they'll do stripe patterns up towards Denver. You can't really see any cloud seeding up in the central mountains, but you can definitely see what they're doing over at Wolf Creek. And we could do films of it starting probably in end of October. We'll see the first planes. So,
okay.
You can just come down to the ranch. They fly right over the ranch, and they start laying out a chemtrail.
Just spraying it on you. It's because they love you.
Yeah, it's supposedly silver iodide.
Okay. And aluminum, though, right?
There's supposed to be no aluminum in it, but...
Hope not.
Yeah, now, the weather pattern when they spray it is not going to fall on the ranch. It goes towards the divide and over into the other valley, so those people are screwed.
Okay, so even though it looks like it's right above you, but with the wind and the atmospheric conditions, it's going to be down quite a bit further than the ranch. That makes sense.
Being a licensed skydiver, and you soon have to be a licensed drone operator, you're going to learn that the wind column, every 100 feet as you go up here, shifts radically. So you can have 200-mile-an-hour winds one direction, layered over with 100-mile-an-hour winds in another direction, and these layers are every 1,000 feet, which is critical to a drone operator because you get drift on your drone, and you also to a skydiver because you drift down and you want to land in your drop zone. You don't want to land in the power lines.
Right, absolutely.
So the high winds are aloft are crazy, and they shift dramatically.
Now, how long do you see...
Look at this bonsai. This is fantastic. I feel like Mr. Miyagi.
That's a bonsai?
Well, it's about a 30-year-old spruce tree.
Dude.
So you would...
That's 30 years old, man?
Yeah, that's pretty fantastic.
Wow.
That's this daddy, maybe.
Holy cow. There's Dad. They're close.
Look at this view.
We just look at it.
Hey, we live here.
This is awesome.
So what I wanted to point out is the round balls emanating out of the cliff down there. Do you see them?
Oh, yeah, we just look at it? Just look at it.
Those nodules are insane. Do you see what I...
Yeah.
They're purple. Half moon.
Purple balls.
Perfectly circular, and that's what the people were getting down there to look at. A lot of people call these like eggs from the earth or whatever, but they're part of that weird geochemical nodules that we were talking about when we came up here. There's an old fire pit down there, so this is definitely used by Indians. See the charcoal pit? It's huge, and there's footprints through it.
Here, let me show you spots. Okay, where's that? I'm good.
There's a huge square charcoal pit in the inside of this cliff.
Oh, yeah.
Next to the weird balls. We gotta get down there. That's crazy.
Oh, this is great.
We gotta see what's going on down there. I don't know how we'll get there.
Well, there you have it. More on the horizon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for watching the podcast. Hope you have a fantastic day, evening, afternoon, wherever you are. And be excellent to one another. Don't forget to be excellent to one another. Check out the Oppenheimer Ranch Project on YouTube. Also, what's your website, Diamond?
Oppenheimerranch.org.
Oppenheimerranch.org.
You can go to 3canyons.org.
3canyons.org. And there's some 5G caps left at leafproject.com/shop.
And they look like this.
Check it out. We just look at it. And there's the shielding liner, man. 5G protected. And 4G, and 3G, and 2G, and 1G.